In this video I want to show you how to replace the USB connector on a smartwatch. As you can see on the USB connector, one pin is bent and crumbled inside the connector. This is what it looks like under a microscope. The first thing we need to do is to disassemble the device. We start by unscrewing the screws. Then I use a plastic tool to remove this housing cover. Here we see the battery, the vibration motor, and this looks somewhat like a microphone, but again, we have a microphone here as well. I remove the battery first. Then I take out the middle part of the housing together with the motherboard. But before I completely remove the mainboard, first I unplug the touchscreen flex cable. Then I trace which flex cable belongs to the display, so I unplug it too. And I take out the mainboard with the middle housing. And of course I return the button that fell out, because if I lose this button, I'm screwed. I put away the rest of the smartwatch because we don't need it at this point. Since the flex cable that holds the microphone, or is it a sensor that is soldered to the mainboard, I won't take it off the board, I'll just remove it from the middle housing. This seems to be some kind of sensor, I think. I also remove this microphone from the middle housing and also remove the vibration motor from the housing. And here we see the USB connector again. I prepare a replacement USB connector. And I prepare a metal base and move it closer to the edge of the desk, because I plan to heat the USB connector from the bottom side of the board, because there are no components on the underside of the board that I could damage, because if I were to heat from the top, I would have to remove all the components that could melt due to heating. I improvised the mounting of the board on this metal holder so that the part of the board with the USB connector protrudes over the edge of the desk. I turn on the hot air gun and start heating a USB connector from the bottom side. As soon as the tin melts, I lift the USB connector from the mainboard. I apply some soldering paste in place of the USB connector. I start heating the board again from the bottom side. When the tin melts, I mount the new USB connector, heat it up a little bit more, and align the USB connector with tweezers to the optimal position. On the microscope, we take a look at the new USB connector. Here is a comparison before and after. I also check that the solder joints are properly soldered and fix them if needed. We put all the components back in place, connect the display flex cable, then the touchscreen flex cable, and volume button flex cable, as well as all other components. I put the lid back on, screw in the screws, connect the charger, and it starts charging. After a few minutes of charging, I turn on the smartwatch, and it seems to work. I plug in and unplug the USB charger a couple of times, as an additional test. And that was it. If you like this video, like it. If not, then don't. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that bell too to get notified when there is a new video on the channel. Hepek is also present on other social networks. Links in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Until the next video.